what's the hold up? He's at grid 244231. There's some goats, top of the hill and just below him. Out.
Victor to Charlie. Target neutralized. You're all clear. Over.
Roger, much obliged, Victor. We owe you one. Out. Yankee, Charlie.
What's up guys and welcome. So today we're doing a bit of a different video, so this is a bit more of an analysis. So only today did I actually have a look at the subscriber count and realise that we've actually breached 100 subscribers. I think we're actually up to about 115, which is absolutely amazing, so thanks for that and everyone who's subscribed, supported me, all that good stuff. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different. So this is Arma 3, and since I've been away with the military I've recently learned that there's now an Arma 3 tanks. So a little bit of background about myself. Those who don't know, I'm actually a tank crewman myself in the British Army on Challenger 2, and I'm also a gunner instructor. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to do a sort of 100 subscriber special video that you see all these people doing, but to have a look at something a little bit different, and that's the tanks on Arma 3 and see how good they've actually made them. So as you can see the video playing in the background, we've now got internal views on the tanks, so we've actually got a sort of turret and whole compartment to have a look at. As you can see there, we can pan our head around and you can see the other crewmen. This is the driver's cab at the moment. You can see what you'd expect: radio selector boxes, obviously driver's controls, things like speedometers, all that good stuff, and it looks really good. So as you see, I'm going to go through all of the different positions. I started with the commanders, went through the gunners, and if you look at those, what you can see is basically decent quantities of sight and equipment. So this is back in the commander seat now. I can move the RWS around, or the remote weapon system, and I can see my displays. Obviously through there I can access the actual site using my right mouse button. So looking around all the compartments, it's everything that you'd really expect to see. So you can see through your periscopes, you can actually watch your guy open the hatch when you turn out, all that good stuff. If you look around, you'll see things like circuit breakers and all the relevant site equipment. If you're in a gunner seat and you manage to look to the left, or well, to your front left as you're driving, in this tank for instance, you'll see the breech moving up and down as you're driving, all the good sort of realistic stuff that you'd like to see in a main battle tank. However, what are we expecting to have changed? Do we just want fancy interiors? No, we want actual gameplay, don't we? So with this, you've actually got a load of new tanks, a load of new APCs, tank destroyers as well, which is a sort of new aspect for this game. But you've also got updated, basically, fire control systems for the tanks, even like this, the M2 Slammer or whatever it is that's already in the main game. This isn't part of the DLC, however this one has been updated as well, as you can see. So later on we'll have a look at all the different customization options as well. However, things like I alluded to then, the fire control systems. So in a main battle tank, generally speaking, or Challenger 2 for instance is what I can really specifically talk about. You laser your target, that updates your fire control systems. Your fire control systems then takes all the wind and whatnot into calculation and then gives you a firing solution. That means then basically you aim at the centre of the target, pull the trigger, it should hit the target if all goes well. Now we've got basically a really basic fire control systems updated into Arma 3. So as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to engage some targets. You'll see I'll laser target, and then that inputs basically my ballistic calculation. That is then going to update all the computers and tell them what needs to be done to fire. They're then going to take into account, move the gun off where they need to, and basically fire the weapon. And once I fire the weapon system, it will send a shot down range. So all we need to do for this is, for the game, we just aim at the centre of the target, press T, which basically lasers your target. That then updates your fire and control solution. What you'll see here is, I didn't look what weapon I had selected and I fired the MG, which wasn't really ideal. Tactic. Tactic dictates really that you're going to take out the vehicle before the people, due to the fact that they're a bigger threat. However, due to the fact that I'd already felt like a bit of a dick, I decided just to take the people out. Not the correct way of doing things, however, there you go. To be honest, this is the first time I've touched Arma in best part of 2 years, so I'm still doing not too bad. I managed to hit the target and kill him. Okay, so as you saw there, I laser the target, and I'll do it again. I'll laser the target now, and then I'll fire. Full shot should go straight to the centre of the aim marker, as it does. The only thing I have noticed is, even with this fire control system that you still have to aim off with moving targets quite a bit more than I would necessarily suspect to with what's meant to be a modern fire control system. However, it's a really good modelling of a basic fire control system for Arma 3, which gives a lot of depth to the main battle tanks and things like the tank destroyers and even the IFEs and AFEs. So, the only thing that still bugs me is all you can hear is left, right, when you're sat in the commander's or the gunner seat and you're trying to get the vehicle where you need to go. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. That was just me trying to get the target or get to my destination. Okay, so here you see now I'll engage the target at a different range. I'll laser target and fire. Once again, full of shot smack bang on the centre, which is really what we'd expect from a fire control system. And we'll go through again on the Arma car. And we hit it. We changed the ammunition that time for a anti-personnel type, however it damaged it enough that you see the target blows up in the end. Okay, so what you'll see now is I'm going to engage some people with the coaxial mounted machine gun at similar ranges. So I've lased it again, and the full shot is still really accurate even with the machine gun. So the fire control system does its bit that it needs to really do, and that's get the full shot onto the target area. Generally speaking, with machine guns, you're not going to be the most accurate with them, even with a fire control system, because as the range sort of expands between you and the target, the wind takes effect on the rounds and they're going to fall further right or left of the target, plus or minus, in which case you just make a manual correction. However, that I can't see being modelled into the game, but it's nice to see the coax is affected by the fire control system as well. Once again, I'm firing at a target at what, 2,100 metres, nearly 2,200 metres, and the full shot's still falling exactly where I want it. I'm just scanning for targets now, trying to look for anything else to engage. However, as you can see, the systems on the tanks for Arma 3 now seem really good. The interiors are really good. What I'll show you in a moment is going on to the customization stuff. So basically they've added loads of new vehicles, and I'll talk about that in a minute. However, things like being able to add bar armour to the vehicles now, and camouflage nets. So I've been able to put a camouflage net on a turret or the hull, or even both if you so wish. That's now into the game as well, from what I can see. As you can see, I'm just trying to coax this guy, how to reload the box of ammunition, which was particularly great. Now that's a good one to see. You see, even though I'm traversing pretty much centre on the target, the rounds aren't falling directly where I want them because the guy's moving. So I'd have to aim off, which I've had to do, even though they still haven't hit him first time anyway. But it's an area weapon and machine gun, so generally speaking, you've got a cone of fire. So within a certain zone, rounds will fall. They just won't necessarily fall in the same place because of discrepancies and things like ammunition. And no 7.62 round is exactly the same down to particles of gunpowder or whatever it may be. Okay, so good little view from the commander's cupola there. Stuck my head up for this bit. For some reason he's holding his rifle where in reality you just wouldn't. Okay, so now what I'm going to have a look at is the basically new customization stuff and even the new vehicles to that matter. So what we've got here now is the M2 Slammer that we just looked at then. This is the up-armoured version, and you'll see that if we go into the selections now, we can select cam nets on the hull, we can put a cam net on a turret, or we can have either or, along with stowage as well in certain aspects on certain vehicles. Camouflage, changing the camos is much the same. Okay, so some of the new vehicles now, we've got a load of new like IFEs and APCs, all with their own little customization options. Most of them are pretty generic to cam nets, top and bottom, and things like bloody RPG bars and stuff like that. Okay, so this is one of the new tanks, and this is the T140. So this is basically a T14 Armata. This is basically derived from a T14. As you can see, similar customization, cam nets, top, bottom, and colour, stuff like that. But some of the APCs and IFEs, you can see that you'll actually be able to do different things. So you can put the slack gauge, so that's obviously your basically your bar armour, so defence from things like RPGs and shape charges like that. Once again, cam nets, top and bottom, all that good stuff. And then I've gone on to some different vehicles here just to see if there was any difference. Once again, still a lot of cam nets we can change. it seems to be added to even the existing vehicles, not just the new stuff, which is good to see. I think there's a couple more vehicles if you go onto the unarmoured stuff, the car type stuff. I mean, even the MLRS stuff has even got cam nets now that we can put on. See, most of the existing vehicles is the customization is limited to the cam nets, which is kind of what you expect. They're not going to upgrade them. However, this is one of the new tank destroyers, so this is the Rhino MGS. So this comes with a standard version and an up armour version. As you can see, we can put the bar armour and the cam nets on it. The up armour version doesn't have bar armour at the front, however it does have explosive reactive armour. Okay, so guys, so that's been a really quick look at the new Arma 3 Tanks DLC that's obviously been out a couple of months now. So thanks for watching, and once again, thanks for getting me to beyond 100 subscribers. I know this video is a bit late, but please, if you've enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and there'll be plenty more content in the future. So many thanks, guys, and stay safe.